Hey guys, welcome back to The Mind of Brandon. Today we're going to be talking about the biblical God. Is it an all-knowing, all-loving, and all-powerful God? So I've technically already addressed this in my Skeptic Bible Study series, but I received a comment on a video I posted last week that made me think I should probably dedicate an entire video to the subject. Basically, in recent weeks, I've been doing videos talking about, whether or not it made any sense that we were created by an all-knowing, all-loving, all-powerful creator God. We talked about the concept of free will. Is there such a thing as free will? We talked about different interpretations of free will. Does it make sense that we were given free will by an all-knowing, all-loving, all-powerful creator God, right? And so the comment that I'm responding to seem to basically be alluding to the story of Adam and Eve and the myth of the Garden of Eden, the story of the original sin, kind of alluding to the idea that Adam and Eve were given free will. Okay, now within the context of that fictional story, I don't really have any problem with the idea that God gave Adam and Eve free will. My issue is with the idea that the biblical God is an all-knowing, all-loving, and all-powerful God. Okay, so I'm going to be kind of pointing out some of the evidence that indicates the God of the Bible is not an all-knowing, all-loving, and all-powerful God. So the first most obvious example that comes to mind pretty much immediately is from the story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. After Adam and Eve have feasted upon the forbidden fruit of knowledge, God is kind of strolling through the Garden of Eden, and he's looking for Adam. And he calls out to Adam. He asks him a question. He asks, Adam, where are you? Right? Doesn't know where he is. This supposedly all-knowing God doesn't know where Adam is when he's hiding in the bushes. Right? That's what Adam says. He says, I'm hiding. I didn't want you to see my nakedness. God asks him another question. He says, who told you you were naked? And it occurs to him, you've been eating that forbidden fruit, haven't you? Right? He's asking him, have you been eating the forbidden fruit? And Adam fesses up. Yeah, you're right, I've been eating the forbidden fruit. And he says, the woman that you gave me got me to eat the fruit. And then, the woman, of course, shifts blame over to the serpent. Oh, yeah, it was the talking snake. He got me to eat the forbidden fruit, right? And God winds up punishing them, okay? But he doesn't just punish Adam, Eve, and the talking snake. He also punishes all their future generations to come. So, apparently, the God of the Bible is a bigot. Yep. Right. Punishing all the future generations of humanity for the actions of the first two humans, Adam and Eve. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but I don't think there's anything all-loving about a bigot, right? Fast forwarding to the story of the worldwide flood, God notices, hey, humanity's gotten pretty wicked, and he regrets ever creating them in the first place. So he decides to wipe them out with a worldwide flood. Well, wait a second. If he's an all-knowing God, then he would have known that they were going to become wicked when he created them. He would have known that he was going to regret creating them. So why bother creating them in the first place? Right? That doesn't make any sense. Okay? But of course, he's not an all-knowing God. He's not. And so he creates humanity, they become wicked, and because he's not an all-loving God, he wipes them all out with a worldwide flood. Okay? If he was an all-knowing, all-loving, all-powerful God, he could have, found some way to reform humanity, or even just made it so they didn't become wicked in the first place. He could have said, oh, okay, so these kinds of environmental situations will generate aberrant behavior within humanity. So I should create the environment different so that humanity turns out differently, right? If he was an all-knowing, all-loving, all-powerful God, then he could have done that. He could have prevented the wickedness. But he's not all-knowing, all-loving, and all-powerful. Okay, fast forward to the story of the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, okay? Before God ever gets around to destroying Sodom and Gomorrah, he has to first investigate the claims that he's heard of their wickedness, right? He says, "Oh, I have to go investigate. I have to find out if this is true, if they're as wicked as I've heard." Right? Does that sound like an all-knowing God? God who just kind of knows everything? Does a God that knows everything have to do background research? Go investigate? Go look into something? I wonder if that's true. No, that's not an all-knowing God. That's not a God that just knows everything. Okay? Later, God's talking to this guy called Balaam. Right? He says, "Who are those men that are with you?" Right? He's asking Balaam, who are the men that are with you? He doesn't know who the men are. He doesn't know. He's not an all-knowing God. In the book of Leviticus, there's a group of people that God says he hates. He hates them. He says, here's why I hate these people. Right? Just another group of wicked people. Right? He's explaining why he hates them. Well, okay, so the translation that I read actually technically used the word abhor. Here's why I abhor these people. But it's the same thing. That's what abhor is. It's synonymous with hate. So that's not an all-loving God. Okay? It's not an all-loving God. So yeah, I could just go on listing off examples. I could go research and find more examples, right? But I think that's sufficient. I think we have sufficiently determined that the God of the Bible is not an all-knowing, all-loving, all-powerful creator God, right? He's not. Now, there might be parts of the Bible that indicate that God is all-knowing or all-loving or all-powerful, but those contradict the other parts of the Bible that demonstrate that he is not. Okay, that's something to keep in mind. We do have contradictions in the Bible. Now, if you're someone that's raised with this idea that the Bible's the divinely inspired and inerrant word of God, everything it is 100% true, right? You got to keep in mind that it's got myths in it, fictional stories involving the divine, right? It's got myths, it's got legends, folklore, right? That's common in antiquity from all sorts of different ancient cultures. There's all sorts of cultures that were doing that prior to the creation of the Bible. Find that in Greco-Roman tradition, the ancient Egyptians, the Sumerians, the Babylonians, the Hittites, the Hindus, the Hurrians, right, etc. All sorts of ancient cultures were producing their own myths. Just as those cultures were producing myths, so did the Jews and Christians. They produced their own myths and legends as well. Okay. Right? Keep in mind, the Bible has a talking snake in it. Okay? It's got a talking snake, a talking donkey, talking trees. The people that wrote it thought the earth was flat. Okay, they refer to the circle of the earth, right? So some people will actually cite that passage trying to defend this idea that the biblical authors thought the earth was spherical, but it doesn't say that. It doesn't say the sphere of the earth. It's talking about the circle of the earth. The earth was perceived as a relatively flat, disc-shaped object. Okay? In modernity, of course, for the most part, people are aware that the earth is more spherical-ish. Okay? For the most part. There's actually been a recent, in recent years, there's been a surge of conspiracy theorists saying, oh, well, we've been lied to by NASA. The earth is not round. The earth is flat, just like it says in the Bible, right? And I'm actually going to be addressing this conspiracy theory in a future Sunday video. So to be continued. I hope you guys all enjoyed this one. If you did, give it a thumbs up, share it with other people. If you're interested in watching my future videos, go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you all in the next one. So have a good one, guys, and peace.